Good morning, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of Classic Live Album War. Today, we're going to look at two British bands, two great live albums released in the 70s, one in 73, one in 77. I think you're going to dig this one. And for guitar lovers, it doesn't get much better than this. So thanks, everyone, for spending your breakfast hours with us this morning, I guess depending on where you are. Right here in the East Coast, it's early in the morning. You're probably still sleeping if it's on the West Coast. If you're over the ponds, perhaps in Europe or even further away from that, you might be finishing up your day or getting close to it. So, but anyway, thanks so much for spending some time with us here today. All right, so the first player in our battle today is Wishbone Ash Live Dates, released in 1973 with the original lineup of Wishbone Ash. And then we have from 1977, Live in the Air Age, from Be Bop Deluxe, basically kind of signaling for this band anyway, signaling an end of an era. Okay, this band was not around for too long, right? But basically, by the time they released this album, that kind of really cool first phase was done. They moved into more kind of like new wave-ish pop type stuff, and then before you knew it, they were gone, right? Whereas with this band, this kind of signaled, like I said, the end of the classic lineup. Okay, of Martin Turner, Andy Powell, Ted Turner, Steve Upton. Okay, basically the classic Wishbone Ash lineup. All right, by some. After this live album, Ted Turner, co-lead guitar player, would leave. Okay, in comes Laurie Weisfeld, who, for my money, even a better player. But that's neither here or there, right? That's a story for another day. Back to this album, though, originally released as a double album in 1973, recorded in June of that year at various locations, some of which including, let's see, Croydon Fairfield Halls, Reading University, Newcastle City Hall, Portsmouth Guildhall, okay, using the Rolling Stones mobile recording studio, which was getting a lot of work back in those days, right? So Wishbone Ash, basically, along with perhaps the Allman Brothers, the most famous of the acts to kind of create and you know, jumpstart the whole twin lead guitar, harmony guitar thing, okay? Both two different bands, obviously, but both kind of paving the way for acts like Thin Lizzy and Judas Priest and Iron Maiden and, you know, all those other bands that did the dual lead guitar thing, all the twin harmony guitar lines and stuff like that. Doesn't get much better than Wishbone Ash, right? That early sound of theirs, just great. Kind of, again, both of these bands, hard to categorize, all right? Wishbone Ash, bluesy, jazzy, rock, prog, folk, a little bit of everything, kind of, you know, early rock and roll, all kind of thrown together. A little bit of boogie, okay? Some killer tunes on here. You got a lot of tunes representing, you know, the first three albums, obviously. Okay, especially Argus. You got The King Will Come and Warrior. Have to be a warrior. Great song. Throw Down the Sword. Okay, the Argus album. Well represented here, like I said. Really good up-tempo, rockin' versions of some of their classic Wishbone Ash stuff. Rock and Roll Widow. All right, good kind of rock and boogie tune. Battle of the Beacon, majestic. All right. Baby, What Do You Want Me to Do? Baby, What You Want Me to Do. Sorry. The Pilgrim. Okay, great tune. Blowin' Free. They're good bluesy boogie rock tune. Okay, a lot of great stinging solos from Powell and Turner on that one. Jailbait. Okay, another good rockin' tune. Lady Whiskey off the first album. One of the band's heavier tunes. Really, really good hard rock tune. And then finishing the double album off again, most of these tunes are pretty lengthy, allowing for lots of jamming. Phoenix. They're incendiary, probably their answer to, like, and again, maybe Memory of Elizabeth Reed or Freebird by Lynyrd Skynyrd. Of course, obviously this predates Freebird ever so slightly. Okay. With a little bit of vocals, but it's mostly a long instrumental with some sizzling Powell and Turner guitar solos. Great performances on here. Okay. Personally, I kind of like Live Dates 2 a little bit better. I don't know why. As much as I love this, and I do, Couple of tunes on here, I prefer the studio version. It's just a little bit better. I don't know why. Okay, I don't know why, but this is great. It's really, really great. I personally find the Live Dates 2, some of those renditions, the live renditions of some of the songs from obviously the next few albums, I find a little bit more spirited. Okay, but this is amazing. Okay, it's amazing. Really, really good live album. I just prefer their second live album, but that doesn't mean this one is not great, because it is. All right, this one released in 1977, recorded throughout their tour of the UK. Of course, Bill Nelson and company, right? One fantastic guitar player and vocalist. All right, here we've got some of the best tracks from their first couple albums, all of which are quite good. You got kicking it off with Live in the Air Age, Ships in the Night, Be Bop Deluxe. Again, hard to categorize. Are they glam? Are they prog? Are they pop? Are they rock? Right? They kind of don't really sound like anybody else. Kind of predated the whole new wave scene a little bit too, right? Peace of Mind, Fair Exchange, great tune. Mill Street Junction, some of their best stuff. Adventures in a Yorkshire Landscape, it's prog and fusion right there, right? Blazing Apostles, Shine, a lengthy shine with all sorts of keyboard and guitar explorations. Sister Seagull, one of their most memorable tracks. And of course, Made in Heaven, finishing the double album off, Made in Heaven. They're two, probably for my money, two of their most memorable, endearing tracks. Sister Seagull and Made in Heaven, kind of finishing up this live set here. Catchy. I mean, Mr. Nelson could write a catchy tune, and then he injected it with stinging guitar solos. Okay, just really, really good, underrated player. You know, you've got some serious guitar players here. Ted Turner, Andy Powell, Bill Nelson. You know, you talk about, you put together a list of the most underrated guitar players of the 70s and 80s. These guys got to be right up top, all three of them. All three of them. Fantastic players. Virtuosos. All right. So, but two great albums. Again, very different from each other, but both bands ironically cited among progressive rock fans as kind of excellent fringe bands that kind of did prog a little bit here and there, right? Both bands very well respected by the prog community. By the mainstream rock and roll audience, nobody really knew how to take either one of them. Neither band really sold a shit ton of records. Okay, both bands, you know, played some headline stuff, were support bands for many, many years. Wishbone Ash still going to this day. Be Bop Deluxe long gone, but neither band really got the recognition they deserve, because when you go and listen to their, especially their 70s studio output, stellar. And then you throw in these two live albums, it's like you can see why they were so well respected, right? So, as we do on this show, we ask everybody to pick a favorite among the two that we're discussing. Okay, I know it's hard in a lot of these. I'm making a lot of these very difficult for a reason. Okay, we can't just have blow away matchups and mismatches all the time, right? We got to make people think and really go back and listen. I mean, that's the point of this whole thing, to go back and listen to these again and just fully immerse ourselves and get back to the understanding of why we love these albums in the first place, right? Or in some cases, in many cases, because I hear from a lot of you saying, "Oh my God, I never heard one of the or the other," right? So I'm so happy to go experience something new. That's the point, right? So already on the Facebook page, I've seen a couple people like, "I've never listened to Be Bop Deluxe before." Well, if you've never listened to Be Bop Deluxe before, now's the time. This is a good starting point, right? Same thing with Wishbone Ash, right? So if I had to choose between them, I'm going to go with the one that I've got more history with, because quite frankly, I've only just gotten this recently. Okay, I've had most of the Be Bop Deluxe catalog for a long time. I never had Live in the Air Age, so I picked it up recently. It's amazing. It's amazing. But when it comes down to it, I'm going to have to pick Wishbone Ash in a unanimous decision here, just because I've been enjoying and loving this for a long, long time. And like I said, even though I prefer their second live album, Live Dates 2, a little bit more, I still dig this quite a bit. All right? Still dig it quite a bit. And there's something about, I love Andy Powell. Love Andy Powell. And, whether it's with Ted Turner or Laurie Weisfield or, whoever else he's played with throughout the years on Wishbone Ash, man, I just love those tasty dual lead guitars. But let me tell you something, Bill Nelson, a force to be reckoned with. But yeah, I'm going to go a unanimous decision today. 116, 112, 115, 113, 117, 110 is going to win today for me, but you may prefer the Be Bop Deluxe, and that's cool too. Make sure you vote. In the upper right-hand corner, you're going to see a little white circle with a letter I in the middle. That's what you got to click to vote for either Wishbone Ash or Be Bop Deluxe in this poll. You can also vote on our Facebook page. Pretty close over there. Wishbone Ash is in the lead right now, but if you are a Be Bop Deluxe fans and you want to see your team, your group kind of gain some ground, spread the word, right? That's your homework, everybody. If you watch our show religiously, recommend us to one or two of your friends or relatives who have somewhat of a passing interest in music. Get them to subscribe. Let's increase our viewership. All right, I want to hit 20,000 subscribers in early 2020. I'm telling you, it's kind of a lofty goal, but we'll see. Look at how many we've gotten in the last year. Quite a few, so I think we can do it. So, but for today, cast your vote for either or Wishbone Ash or Be Bop Deluxe. We'll have more for you. I think we got another one coming up later today. We're going to try and do double shots of these each day to kind of catch up, get through the first round, because we still have a lot to do. A lot to do in the first round. We've got a lot of contestants sitting there waiting to go to battle and hopefully make it to the second round. So visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. Of course, we're here on YouTube every day. We will see you either later or tomorrow with some more stuff, more classic live album wars. Going to do, hopefully this weekend, we're going to do another live stream on the Questions and Answers show. What else? I got a couple other shows I'm brewing, all right, which fall outside the realm of the classic live album war stuff. Top 10 songs, although I'm taking a little break from top 10 songs for right now, okay, just because we're so immersed in this, but I got a couple other rants and little fun shows that I think some of you asked on the recent Q&A show if I can do my top 10 albums of all time. I'm going to try and get to that this week. I still want to do those album cover things, but I think a lot of these, there's a bunch of shows I want to get to. It's going to have to wait till after I get done with my business traveling, which will commence again next week. So once I get back from that, I don't have any travel in my schedule for the next month or two, and I think that's when I'm going to try and get to a lot of these other kind of fun shows that I've been plotting and talking about for a while. Okay, so that's kind of the plan, and we'll see you guys later. All right, take care. Bye-bye.